From the high-definition educational broadcast center at Bergen Community College's main campus in Paramus, this is Studio Bergen. Welcome to the Season 4 premiere of Studio Bergen, your connection to the state's largest community college. Each month, we'll take a look at the news, people, and events making headlines, so thanks for being with us. As students arrived for the first day of classes, September 2nd, at the main campus, they arrived at the college with the best tutoring center in the nation. Over the summer, the college received word from the National College Learning Center Association that the Cerullo Learning Assistance Center won its Frank L. Christ Outstanding Learning Center Award, which recognizes tutoring center excellence. During a recent visit, President Dr. B.K. Walter and Center Managing Director Kyra Fazal discussed why.
We're very fortunate to have a great staff that works with them on a one-to-one personal basis so that they can succeed at the highest level.
One of the criteria of winning this award is how your tutoring program integrated within the whole college community. And this program, and I'm very fortunate to have the support of faculty, counselors, and staff to make this as successful as it is.
Okay. Bergen represents the first New Jersey school, 4 or 2 year, to earn the award. Past honorees include Clemson University, Texas A&M, and Dutchess Community College. The Cerullo Center hosted more than 40,000 subject-specific and individualized tutoring visits in 240 courses last year. Approximately 7,000 students relied on a team of 150 professional and peer tutors employed by the Cerullo Center to assist them via no-cost, one-on-one, walk-in and in-class tutoring. Good news also arrived this summer when the college learned it is now the state's top associate degree granting institution, forging ahead of its Monmouth County peer, Brookdale Community College. The data compiled by Community College Week saw Bergen surge to the top of the state on the strength of a 13% year-over-year increase in graduates. Bergen awarded degrees to 2,222 students in the class of 2013, placing it 29th among all 2-year institutions in the U.S. More good news might be on the horizon as Bergen's May class of 2014 stood as the largest in the institution's near 50-year history. So we'll surely be watching for next year's rankings. Speaking of graduates, with a deal inked over the summer, the process for transferring to Ramapo College of New Jersey just got a little easier. In June, vice presidents from both institutions formalized an agreement for STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics majors, essentially permitting Bergen graduates utilizing the program to enter Ramapo as juniors. Early in our new season here at Studio Bergen, we seem to have developed a little theme, one that focuses on the topic of student success. After all, tutoring and transfer agreements play a role in supporting it, while by some measures the number of graduates could be considered a direct reflection of the idea. We'll continue the theme with our guest in this month's edition of Faculty Focus, Professor Lori Tallarico, who leads the college's innovative Success 101 class.
That's the very first thing we broach in the first couple of classes. What does success mean to you? And, you know, there's always the surface answers. Students, I guess pretty typically at their age, they're first thinking of like, I'm going to be that famous rock star, I'm going to be that pro player in some sport, and I'm going to make money. And those are like the immediate, tangible things that they think of. But over the course of the semester, through reflection, discussion, journal writing, exercises we do together, we really get at the core of, you know, what really makes you tick? What are your strengths naturally? What other areas would you like to develop with yourself? And the mantra of the course really becomes choice, that one word, to understand that you choose everything that happens to you, everything you can be, where you'll go, what you can study, and you should be opening doors instead of closing them.
The class represents Bergen's participation in what has become a national trend.
Nationally, all first-year experience courses are showing benefits. There's no question about that. This method in particular is from a man named Skip Downing, and he wrote a book called On Course. And he himself struggled and went back to school after being an English major and a professor and such, and took psychology courses. And he decided to put this book out because he was dissatisfied as the teacher, standing up there watching the apathy or the frustration on both ends of the desk again, and he knew that it could be better. And I believe that teachers who teach this course understand that at heart, students really do want to learn, and they do care, no matter what they're looking like while they're sitting there, all, body language saying otherwise.
For Tallarico, teaching success comes after a circuitous route that brought her to Bergen 3 times, twice as a student and now as a professor.
When I was in my last semester here doing that, I was prepared to go to Montclair State, and I was, had a whole plan. Well, I failed math and had to come back to repeat it. And during that time period, Dr. Zoitlin was a counselor here, and she suggested that I apply to a scholarship for Columbia University. And so I wound up winning that scholarship and going there instead of Montclair and starting in a January semester, and that changed everything. So I got my bachelor's and my master's, and I came back as an adjunct and then a lecturer. And then I left for a while, and I came back again, and well, obviously now I'm on the other side of the desk.
Her story, which includes time in an all-female band, All That Glitters, features both success and failure. And according to her, that's okay. Students draw from it.
For whatever reason, my path seems like it put me in the perfect place to be the one who winds up leading this year, and it's, who would have known? I've had so many different lives. I even had a stint in between as a medical writer during the time when I decided, enough already, they haven't hired me here yet. So yeah, I feel like I really understand what students go through. I also come from a family of people who have not had the advantage of college, so I'm really, setting a standard for my family as well. And I feel it really gives me an insight into what they do, what they struggle with, and I hope also I give them some hope.
As a pilot course, Success has already seen positive results, data that may give it a permanent home.
On the part of the students, there has really been very little resistance. And the numbers are showing that students who are taking these courses together are actually doing better in their grades. As we go on, if we get to go on, and I'm hoping we do, the goal would be to see where does that, we follow them and see where they go with this next. I mean, obviously retention is always the goal.
With the academic year, work has once again ramped up on its Middle States self-study, the process to continue the college's accreditation. We've spoken with the group's co-chair, Soni Tawari, before, but we thought it would make some sense to bring him back for a brief update as the process continues. Soni, welcome back.
Thank you. I've been thinking about this moment for the last 6 months.
On our summer break, I guess,
yeah,
right?
Just plotting.
Soni, let's take it back for a second. We talk about Middle States Matters. We talked about it the last time you were here. We know inside the college, or most of us know why it matters, but to somebody watching, why does this process matter?
Right. Well, I think there's a couple of layers to this. On one layer, it's an opportunity for us to really look at what we're doing comprehensively in every area of the college and investigate what are we doing well, what are the opportunities for improvement, and do we have a system in place to recognize those opportunities and to improve from there. And on a more basic level, of course, accreditation is important for us when it comes to federal grant money. The U.S. government sees that regional accreditation and goes, okay, this school, we can give them this much. It's also really important, you were talking about transferability in the last segment, and that's an opportunity at this college to improve. We have so many students that are looking to transfer to four-year schools, and if we don't have that accreditation, that becomes significantly harder for those students to move on to FDU or move on to Ramapo College
or
and these other places.
Yale or Harvard.
Or Yale or Harvard.
And it's not unique, this process, to Bergen Community College or to Yale and Harvard. This is something every school in the Northeast, and there are other accrediting bodies across the country, but for us, it is the Middle States Commission on Higher Education, and every school goes through this process. So, with that in mind, where are we in this multi-year process?
Right. So, in the spring, we were in a preparation phase. We completed a self-study design, which was about a 50-page document that will guide our process in moving forward with the self-study. We've now shifted from planning and preparation to a research phase, where we have 8 working groups comprised of faculty, staff, and even students here at the college addressing research questions that will ultimately result in self-study reports.
It's a comprehensive process with really a great division of all these different people at the college who have all these different responsibilities. Like you said, it's faculty, it's staff. There are dozens of people involved in this, right?
Yeah, almost 100 actually. And that's, I think, the enjoyment, the really enjoyable factor for me is to be able to work with all of these different people and to interact with these different constituencies at the college. And they're really coming together to really comprehensively look at everything that we're doing.
So we're researching now. We have a little bit more time to go, about a year, a little bit more than a year. What happens next?
That's right. So in the spring, the working groups will submit a report. And then in the summer, the steering committee, which is comprised of about 14 different members, they will analyze these reports and produce a final document. And then next year, we will release that first draft and we'll invite the college to provide input and feedback on that. And then at the end of fall in 2015, we will have a final self-study report.
And a big visit coming after that, right?
2016. So we're in for 2 more years. We got to pace ourselves, I think.
But you know, it's important to the community. It's important to, when I say the community, I mean both internal, external. This is a process that the college needs. It is important because the college, as you said, has to undergo this process in order to improve and in order to evaluate itself. So, Sony, thanks for your good work with it, and we will be sure to have you back because I'm going to say it one more time. What? Middle States matters, right? Thank you, Sony.
Sure.
In other news, in recent months, the college has welcomed 3 new members to its Board of Trustees. Irene Ojo, Interim County Superintendent of Schools Robert Davis, and Alumni Trustee Victoria Tahan. The panel also wished good luck to longtime member and Vice Chair Sid D. Wilson, who left New Jersey to become the President and CEO at the Hispanic Association on Corporate Responsibility in Washington. Speaking of our nation's capital, Professor Bill Morales kicked off the college's yearly events on the study of suburbia by hosting the evolution and impact of a rich and powerful suburb, Arlington County, Virginia, which grew out of its relationship to Washington, D.C.
Suburban communities do not evolve at random. They're the result of specific government decisions made by Congress and the President. So it's no coincidence that Arlington County became ultimately the most powerful county in the United States.
We'll feature more highlights from the Suburban Study Group events this academic year in future episodes. Recalling an event that affected Washington, D.C., New York, and the nation, Bergen took time on September 11th to remember the events of that day. Professor Tom LaPointe said it's one that no one will ever forget.
I would say to you that this is why we're here, because we are here inside the space of the gap. We are here inside the womb. We inhabit the cut in our willingness to come together in this space at this time for no other reason except to remember those who perished and to honor those who helped others to survive.
Coming up after a short break, we'll take a look at other stories from the summer and September before greeting new Student Government Association President Laura Hoyos in our Student Success Spotlight. We'll be right back.
All right, I know this isn't any fun to talk about, but we should. Okay, so who's gonna do what?
I'll pack the dead batteries.
Great.
I'll only put what I don't need into a duffel bag.
Perfect. That's totally unhelpful.
No problem.
Meanwhile, I will try to comfort everyone by speaking in a calm voice.
And I'll try to get the generator going without any gas.
Oh, let's not forget the cell phones, which probably won't work.
Right.
And who is going to handle supplies?
I can forget to do a list for us.
Thanks, pal.
Well, I think we couldn't be any less prepared. I'm proud of you guys.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.
So good to see you guys. So, what's up?
Oh, we finally bought a place.
Holy cow.
You seriously have enough saved to do that?
We've been putting a little aside each month.
Jeez, at the end of the month, we have nothing left to save.
Yeah, I have no idea where it goes.
Well, you're spending a lot on...
Was it good?
Oh, God.
Oh, how is my account overdrawn?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
I think someone at my friend's school has this thing called autism. My friend's brother's son has autism. My neighbor's son has autism. My son has autism.
Autism is getting closer to home. Today, 1 in 68 children is diagnosed with autism. That's about a 30% increase in 2 years. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
Welcome back to Studio Bergen. I'm Larry Levanka. Over the summer, New Jersey First Lady Mary Pat Christie visited to find out how our garden grows. In July, Eric Fuchs Stengel, Miss Christie's latest New Jersey Heroes inductee, and hordes of guests converged on the community garden the young volunteer has cultivated along with the college and the Mahwah Environmental Volunteers Organization, a group he founded. Alongside Miss Christie, Fuchs Stengel, President Dr. B.K. Walter, and Bergen County Executive Kathleen Donovan picked beets at the event, which featured Fuchs Stengel's group receiving a donation from the First Lady's nonprofit organization. For more information on the space, let's turn our attention to Bergen professors Rachel Wieland and Charlie Sontag, who will show off the college's garden in this month's Sustainability Minute.
Hi, this is Sustainability Minute, and I'm your host, Rachel Wieland. We cover various sustainability projects here at the college. Today, we have Dr. Charlie Sontag to talk about our community garden.
Hi, my name is Charles Sontag. Welcome to our community garden. As you can see, we have a nice garden here. This is our garden here at Bergen Community College. It was put together by volunteers. Right now, we have 3 long beds. There's a bed here, another bed here. These beds contain a variety of plants, including things like fruits, vegetables, herbs. We've got strawberries. Some years we have golden berries. We have heirloom tomatoes. Here's a nice kumata. We've got heirloom peppers. We've got broccoli on occasion, though I think we ate it all this summer. We've also got celery and kale and parsley and chives and basil, my favorite, English basil. Now, next thing, all the work is done by volunteers. We start from seed. All of the work is done by hand. All the work is organic. So if you would like to be part of this and enjoy the bounty, come to the Environmental Club, Thursdays 12:30 to 1:30, L148. So hope to see you there. Ow.
On the sports page, Bergen Bulldogs slick fielding second-year infielder James Donahue, who now attends Queens College, learned this summer that he earned the college's first NJCAA Rawlings Gold Glove Award for stellar defensive play. Donahue notched 43 putouts, 64 assists, and 6 double plays, making only 1 error. Unlike some defensive specialists, he also started at the plate, hitting .355 and tying for the team lead in runs scored with 21. Donahue's postseason honors included spots on the All-Region and Conference second teams. Meanwhile, current students turned out for the annual Club Day, September 4th, giving them an opportunity to learn about the dozens of offerings available to them. Student Government Association Vice President Natasha Piñeros said no matter a student's interest, there's probably a club for it.
Student government is here. We have PTK, we have the Honor Society, we have Pastor Lubon, Lhasa, we have the Math Club, we have Polish culture. We really have everything you can think of.
One of those groups, the Care Club, sponsored a packed visit from Nature Nick at the Exotic Animal Showcase featuring critters like the Australian bird, the kookaburra.
Why
do you think this bird makes the sound? She will make the sound. Why? What do you... A little bit louder. It's actually to scare away other animals that might try to eat them in Australia. Now the trick is not getting her to start making the sound. The trick is getting her to stop.
In that vein of four-legged and feathered friends, also last month, the college opened its latest Gallery Bergen exhibition, Pets, Beasts, and Dinner, September 16th. The exhibition features the painting, sculpture, photography, and videography of 14 global artists and the relationship between humans and animals as friends in food, pets, and predators. It will be on view through October 30th. Other events coming up next month include a visit from WABC reporter Joe Torres Thursday, October 2nd at 11 a.m. in the Anna Maria Sacconi Theater as part of Latino Heritage Month. The event is free and open to the public. Also, the annual alumni dinner will take place Thursday, October 9th at 6 p.m. at Bergen Community College at the Meadowlands. Email jcavaluzzi@bergen.edu for tickets. Meanwhile, the Brubeck brothers will play the Anna Maria Sacconi Theater Friday, October 10th at 7:30 p.m. Visit tickets.bergen.edu for seats. Finally, the college will be closed for its day of service and community Tuesday, October 28th. Kicking off this season's Student Success Spotlight segment is Laura Hoyos, the president of the Student Government Association. Welcome, Laura.
Thank you so much for having me here.
No problem. This is kind of a tradition on Studio Bergen. We always want to make sure we have the student government president at least once for an interview because you are, in a lot of ways, the representative of the students.
I am. Thank you.
You've embraced that role so far.
Yes.
You're a few months into your presidency here. How are things going so far?
Things are going very well. We just finished recruiting all our senators, and we're actually going to our retreat today, so I'm looking forward to that. We'll be focusing on training them, how to reach out to the student body, understanding the student needs, and making sure that we have a very successful year.
The point is getting kids involved, and kids, I shouldn't say kids, but students, getting students involved, right?
Yes.
That's the point. Tell me more about what you guys, why is it important to do that?
Well, we actually went back during the summer and did some research on this. You know, we're constantly asking students to get involved, to participate, come to our events, but why? We wanted to understand the reason behind this. And the research actually shows that student involvement is very important because not only are you getting involved, but you're getting invested in something. You're meeting people who are motivating you to take honor classes, to raise your GPA. They inspire you to do better, and in a way you don't realize it, but you're surrounding yourself by the perfect people that are going to help you be successful as a student.
Let's take a step back and let's talk a little bit about less the student body and more about you.
Okay.
You are the president, but obviously you're a student too.
Yes.
What are you majoring in? Why did you come to Bergen in the first place?
My major is political science. I came to Bergen Community College because I realized that it was a good choice for a two-year institution. My dream school is American University in Washington, D.C., and that's where I'm aiming to go. I want to focus on international affairs, always been interested in politics, and joining the student government is something that I'm very passionate about. Even if I'm here from 8 to 9, even if I'm tired, or if it's a lot of work, I always do it and have a lot of fun doing it.
So you want to have a future in politics, so getting involved at this level just seems to make sense, right?
Yes, it just feels right.
Let's dig a little deeper on that, though. A student leader like yourself takes on a massive amount of responsibility, especially at a school like Bergen, where we have almost 16,000 students that are here. Why, and I'll call it a burden, why burden yourself with that responsibility?
It doesn't feel like a responsibility. It feels like a privilege to be able to represent the student body. It's a huge learning experience, not just for myself as an individual and for the things that I would like to take on in the future, but it's a learning experience for the people that I work with and also for the people that are going to work after I leave. I'm able to study the student body, understand their needs, understand how we can help them to commit, to complete, and be able to pass that on to the people who are going to be in my role in the future. So it doesn't feel like a burden. It's something that I enjoy doing. I learn a lot from it. There's a lot of mistakes that I make, and I will admit to that, but those mistakes allow me to not only get to know myself better, but to learn, get back up, and aim towards success.
Right, and of course, and mistakes, you know, everybody makes a mistake, and anybody who says they don't is just lying. So if you don't learn from them, that's where the problem lies. But let's talk a little bit more about the idea of running for office. You know, as a young person, you know, you said you have aspirations to maybe do this in the future, but that's not easy. You know, trying to tell people why they should pick you over somebody who, you know, maybe they don't know so much, just like they don't know you so much.
Exactly. Actually, in high school, I ran to be president of the student government for my senior class. I ran against the most popular kid in school. He was the football player. I didn't think I was going to win. So I started the election process, and I didn't look at it as a competition. I looked at it as an opportunity for me to speak to the student body. I really didn't think I was going to win, but I knew that I had their attention. I had the ability to speak in front of all of them for our election speech, and my speech wasn't an election speech. It was just everything that I've ever wanted to say to my graduating class, and I felt like it was going to be the only time that I would be able to say this to them. I actually ended up winning, and it was an amazing experience. So this time around, when I ran for president of the student government, I took it the same way. Not to focus so much on the competition, who I'm running against, what if I don't win, but more about the experience that an election holds. The fact that you have students' attention, they want to know who you are, they want to know what your goals are, and they're listening when you answer those questions.
And you did indeed win the race, so now you have the opportunity to set a course for students for this, at least for this next year. So what are some of your goals? What are the things that you want to focus on as president?
Oh, there's so much that I want to do, and I'm so thankful that I have such a hard-working team with me, because I believe that we can make it all happen, even if it's a very long list. We want to start by focusing on high schools. We want to bring our honors students, our PTK students, our involved students to the high schools, so that the high school students can see these students and see they are coming from Bergen Community College, and they are being successful. They have a 4.0. They know exactly what they're doing and where they're going. I believe this is very important. You think it's important because of the perception that exists in the high schools of community colleges, which we all who go to school here or work here, we understand what this institution is all about. But to other kids, you know, that stigma, unfortunately, does exist. I want students to realize what I realized when I was here for the first month at Bergen. I want them to know that before they're even choosing their colleges, so that they could really consider Bergen Community College as an option, because it's a great college. Aside of that, we also want to focus on combining our efforts with the Meadowlands and the Hackensack campus. We've been meeting with the deans at these locations during the summer, and make sure that every activity that we do here, we're doing there as well, not forgetting the students that attend those campuses. And it's been great because we actually recruited a few senators from the Meadowlands campus, so I'm excited about that. Other initiatives include more green initiatives within our environmental committee. We are also working very hard with our Black and Latino committee. We realize that our males are not graduating, and this is a problem. So I'm very excited to see what this committee has to offer. There's a lot of research going behind understanding what it is that is keeping them from graduating, from being successful here at Bergen. I do want to mention that in the efforts to work with that committee, we're working with PTK. During the month of October, we're targeting 4 groups: veterans, non-traditionals, males, and Hispanics. And we're having workshops every Tuesday in October, and then during the weekends we're having service opportunities, also involving community service, interacting with the community, and understanding how important that is.
To somebody who might be listening right now and watching this segment, how can they get involved in that if they are one of those 4 groups?
They could definitely email me at presidentsgabcc@gmail.com and tell me that they're interested. I'll be more than glad to offer them all the information regarding the workshops and the service opportunities as well.
Wonderful. Laura, I think all of us are looking forward to your stay as the president of the Student Government Association, and you have some pretty lofty goals. Good luck in achieving them, and the college is certainly here to support you however it can.
Thank you so much.
Thanks
I really
for coming to the show.
appreciate it.
Thanks for being with us. This is Studio Bergen for Bergen Community College. I'm Larry Levanka. Thanks and take care.